Ms Legalista here, aka Attorney Sheila. I want to talk about this whole FDA advisory that has come out regarding phenylephrine being used in cold medicines, allergy medicines, products that you can get over the counter without a prescription from your local pharmacy. Now, if you're like me, you've probably purchased several of these before. I actually went into my kitchen cabinet and pulled something out, this product right here. It is definitely our family go-to product. I will reveal it later. Maybe you can already see some of it there. I will reveal it later. It hasn't even been opened. We keep that stuff in stock like bread and eggs and milk or something. Yeah. Let's take a look at this advisory. When you have to go back and sort of clarify something that you have put out there before, because people are talking about it so much, and you want to make sure that you leave them with the correct information, you know that you have hit some sort of button with people. You cannot take people's Sudafed and Robitussin and I don't know, Dayquil, NyQuil, I don't know. I'm just throwing some names out there. But you cannot start talking about these products because people really depend upon them. People get, on average, from what I've read, anywhere from 2 to 4 colds a year. That's a lot. That's a lot of people maybe running to the drugstore to get tissues for their nose and also products that they hope will alleviate some of these symptoms. Now, I used to have allergies really badly when I was growing up. One of my family members had allergies even worse than me and had to go get shots. But for a long time, I just sort of suffered through it. As I got older, I started taking medications to help with it. And one of the things that I was told a long time ago was to switch from oral allergy medications to nasal sprays. So I made that switch a long time ago. And now they've got this advisory clarification here because that is the thing that they really want to make sure that people understand. They are talking about this being administered orally, not people who use nasal sprays or nasal spray products. But let me pull this up because there's just a couple pieces I want to highlight um in terms of this, because people are really talking about it's like, wait, my cold medicine doesn't work. Yeah, we'll get to that. It says the committee discussed, second paragraph here, this is the non-prescription drug advisory committee of the Food and Drug Administration. Okay, it says the committee discussed new data on the effectiveness of oral phenylephrine and concluded that the current scientific data do not support the recommended dosage of orally administered phenylephrine is effective as a nasal decongestant. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm congested this morning with my mouth, but that is what they were talking about. It says, however, neither FDA nor the committee raised concerns about safety issues. Okay, so this is not about safety. This is not about safety. This is about whether or not you're taking something to alleviate a condition only to now find out that what you're taking might not be alleviating that condition. Here's one of the other things I want to say about this. A lot of times with these products that you're purchasing, you're not just purchasing one singular ingredient in a product. It comes with a host of other ingredients. And a lot of times that's why you really need to read this, even though it's safe over the counter, you have to make sure that it's not going to interfere with something else that you might be taking. And so you really have to be careful about this because there can be reactions that occur. So this particular item that I'm looking at, I'll go ahead and tell you, it's Robitussin. It's Robitussin, you guys. I keep it in stock. It has active ingredients listed as acetaminophen, pain reliever. So that is usually something that's in most of these products, some sort of pain reliever. So even if you're nasal decongestion, I'm sorry, even if your nasal congestion is not going away, you might feel better just because you have some pain relief. All right, so it's in here as a pain reliever slash fever reducer. And then the next one is another one you've probably heard of, dextromethorphan. It says cough suppressant. Then we have one I can't pronounce because the type is so small here, I can hardly see it. Guaifenesin or something like that as an expectorant. And then you have phenylephrine, which is a nasal decongestant. All right, so I keep this around maximum strength, maximum strength, severe multi-symptom cough, cold plus flu. It says cough, sore throat, body aches. See, that's that pain. That's that acetaminophen, right? Body aches, fever, nasal congestion, chest congestion, non-drowsy. I'm always looking for the non-drowsy version. I am not trying to fall asleep with this, but this is the max. This is generally what I take and what I keep on hand. And like I said, this hasn't even been open. I make sure I always have some products ready to go. We're getting ready to head into the winter season here. I am definitely trying to take care of my family here. But here's a clip from the meeting that we can take a look at.
Okay, I will begin by reading question 2, the voting question to the committee, and then we will pause to see if there's any questions or concerns about the wording of the question itself. So question 2 for our vote: do this current scientific data that were presented support that the monograph dosage of orally administered phenylephrine is effective as a nasal decongestant? If yes, discuss what data you consider supportive. If no, discuss what additional data, if any, are needed to assess phenylephrine pharmacokinetics or efficacy. Are there any questions about the wording or any clarifying questions about the wording of this?
And it doesn't look like they have any questions. Remember, they've already discussed a lot of this already. We are 2 hours.
Seeing none, with no questions or comments concerning the wording of the question, we will begin the voting of question 2.
Now, what I was going to say is they're 2 hours into this meeting where different committee members have spoken up. One doctor actually talked about how he would hear from some of his patients about how they weren't necessarily feeling better in terms of the symptoms, but they might feel a little bit better because of other things that were in the ingredients and in the product, these other ingredients that were included in the products. I should state that a little bit better. Let me see if I can scroll down here so we can get to the actual vote, because this is what people were talking
0
about here.
yeses, 16 noes, and 0 abstentions. Dr. Coyle?
Thank you. We will now go down the list and have everyone who voted state their name and their vote into the record. You may also include the rationale for your vote, and we'll start with Dr. Amr Shahi.
All right, so here's where you see the names of the committee members, and all of them unanimously have indicated that they are saying no to the question that I shared earlier. So, if you want to go back and take a look at this and hear all of the information that was presented during this committee meeting, you can. Their meeting is on YouTube, so you can definitely take a look at it for yourself so that you can make some determination about this. Let me take a moment here to just sort of go over why this particular ingredient is out here, some of the uses. I want to go to WebMD. Let's see if we can scroll down and see exactly what. So here's what why we're typically buying this product. And so we go out there and we buy things like this and other things that has it in there. And I'm not saying that this is a bad brand or don't get this, but it just makes me wonder now, gosh. All right, uses. Temporary relief of stuffy nose, sinus, and ear symptoms caused by the common cold, flu, allergies, or other breathing illnesses, such as sinusitis and bronchitis. This medication works by decreasing swelling in the nose and ears, thereby lessening discomfort and making it easier to breathe. Cough and cold products have not been shown to be safe or effective in children younger than 6. So do not use this if a child is younger than 6. So then they have this piece up here, and this is what we're talking about. We're talking about oral decongestants. All right, let me wrap this up because I think you guys have gotten the gist of this, that all of the committee members said, hey, this is not necessarily proven. Let me share one thing with you. I was scrolling through just trying to make sure I was getting my good research done here. And so here you have what you were seeing in the news, what you were hearing, what an FDA advisory panel's finding that. You can see the PBS one there. FDA clarifies results. And really, they were trying to point out that, hey, we're not saying this is not safe, number one. What we're saying is we're making a distinction between oral use and other uses. In other words, how you intake it. Then they had, let's see, some other ones. FDA advisory panel's conclusion that oral phenylephrine is ineffective means consumers need to think twice. I think that's a good way of stating this. FDA advisory committee says common ingredient in some nasal decongestants does not work. I'm telling you, trying to say these words. And then here's the one that I thought was most interesting. After 50 years, the FDA finds out oral phenylephrine. Yeah, I actually want to click on that. And this is how they titled the article. On September 12th, a Food and Drug Administration advisory panel reported that oral phenylephrine hydrochloride, an ingredient in many popular over-the-counter decongestants people purchase to treat common cold symptoms, does not reduce nasal congestion. It says phenylephrine, a drug that causes small blood vessels to constrict, is an ingredient in numerous cold remedies, including NyQuil, Sinex Nighttime Relief, and Sudafed PE. The FDA and drug makers believed that constricting blood vessels that supply mucus glands in the nasal passages and sinuses would cause a drop in mucus production. However, new research shows that oral phenylephrine is no more effective than a placebo. And I am going to leave it there. Peace.